Welcome to Lemoore City Council Chambers located at 429 C Street. This is the April 21st meeting. Please silence all electronic devices as a courtesy to those in attendance. Thank you. If you could please stand for the invocation given by Kimberly Nelson from Lifeway Church and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Lyons.
Father God, we come before you, Lord, and we invite you into this meeting. We ask, Father God, that you would guide our leaders as they, Lord God, listen to you. We ask for your peace to reign in this city, over our leaders, over our community, over every individual. We ask, Father God, that you would, by your Spirit, you would touch every person. Lord God, we thank you for this group of people here today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you.
Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilmember Brewster.
Here.
Councilmember Lyons.
Present.
Councilmember Cruz.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Gornick.
Here.
And Mayor Matthews.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any agenda approval additions or deletions?
I just want to make one clarification, which would be on agenda item 4-7 in relation to the TERSIP grant. Staff would just like to state that there's a reference in the staff report that states what funds would be used for grant matching funds if awarded. But we would like to retain the flexibility to be able to find the best use or the best funds available for the grant match. So it might change based on what's in the staff report, but we would like you to approve the staff report, just understanding that we may not think that we need to use general funds. We may have additional grants that come available or other revenue sources that may be able to make that match.
That sounds good. Thank you. So now we have ceremonial presentations. Item 1-1, Lemoore Fire Department Annual Report. Faith. You have a PowerPoint?
No.
No? Oh,
Well,
sorry.
was this included in it?
No, we don't have that.
So I'll read it and then, I'm here on behalf of Chief Jones. So good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm going to present the 2025 annual fire report. The Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department is comprised of 35 volunteer firefighters, 9 of which are EMTs, 19 hold their Firefighter 1 certificate, and 16 hold their Firefighter 2 certificate. LVFD strives to provide the community with the best fire protection service possible. In 2025, Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department responded to a total number of 2,022 incidents. When you receive this, there is a chart and it breaks down the incidents based upon like service, training, canceled calls, hazardous conditions, false alarms, fires, and medical. Medical last year was 1,620 calls, and we did 50 fire calls last year. Everything else kind of just falls into the rest of that. The average number of responders we have on a fire call is 13. Medical calls is 12. Hazardous condition calls is 9. Service calls is 8. Canceled calls is 15. False alarms is 8. And special incidents or other is 11 firefighters. In addition to responding to incidents, LVFD participated in 85 trainings and events in 2025. Public service activities we participated in included National Night Out, Lemoore Christmas Parade, the Easter event at the park, Christmas Parade with the Tachi Tribe, Stratford Christmas Parade, Battle of the Badges Blood Drive, the Trunk or Treat at MIQ, Red Ribbon events at Lemoore Elementary Schools, firework detail with Lemoore Police Department over 3 nights, a career day at Lemoore High School, the Veterans Parade, presence on patrol, flag raisings at a number of high school sporting events. We attend first responder appreciation night at the Lemoore racetrack. We attended a funeral procession for a fallen Kings County firefighter. We volunteer at the Lemoore High School football games for football season, and we have provided numerous fire station tours for preschool and kindergarten classes. The Lemoore Fire Department Association held their 5th annual charity golf tournament this last spring of 2025. And as of then, they had raised $150,000 over the last 5 years to donate to the Leon S. Peters Burn Center in Fresno. In early spring of 2025, we did receive our new Type 1 engine, and we started the process of building our training facility that will break ground in early 2026, which has already, and I'm sure most of you have seen it. We also have started and almost completed the wildland truck that should be here within the next month, was what I was told today. Which is perfect timing because it's coming up on fire season. So, and all of this was received with the $2 million funding from Senator Hurtado. This year has had a pretty big increase in response to medical calls, but we were able to adapt and overcome to this need and the ever-changing protocols. Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department takes pride in the ability to serve the great community that is Lemoore and appreciates the opportunity to do so. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a word.
How often do you meet?
The guys train every Tuesday night, except for the second Tuesday of the month, but they train from 7:30 to 10:30.
And how many attendees are there?
They're required to be there. So,
How many is that?
well, it's the 28, 7, there's 7,
35.
35. Well, there's 35, but there's crew captains and then the 7 firefighters on each crew and then the 3 chiefs. So
Good.
they're all required to be there. If not, they have to report to their crew captain.
This is broadcast or at least on the internet, and sometimes people don't know that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
residents,
yeah.
so
Okay.
just want them to know.
Stuart, you're not gonna put me on the spot?
No, you
Thank
asked me
you.
not to.
I did.
Any other questions or comments from council? Well, I'll just say thank you for that report and
Thank you.
just want to say thank you to the Lemoore Volunteer Fire Department for all they do for the community. You see it on a daily basis and then to hear it annually, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, guys.
you.
Have a good night.
Now we'll go ahead and go to study session. We have item 2-1, bottom line construction, proposed annexation for subdivision. She was just in a hurry.
She's ready to go today. She
Yeah.
knows what's coming.
Yeah, good news.
Do I need to press any buttons or
No, you should be
we're
good.
good? Okay. Council, city staff, thank you for allowing us. My name is Jay Verk. I'm the president and CEO of Bottom Line Development out of Fresno, California. We're here to discuss a 40-acre parcel to the southern part of the golf course that exists here in the city of Lemoore. Currently, it's in county zoning, and we are planning to annex it, bring it into the city of Lemoore with the designation of zoning to low density. Currently, it's in very low density on the general plan. We would annex it, rezone it, and bring it back to low density. The project itself is proposed of 206 single-family residential units on approximately 40 acres, resulting in density of just over 5 dwelling units per acre. That's consistent with the low-density residential designation. The project includes approximately 3.3 acres of park space featuring a centrally located neighborhood park as a community focal point, along with additional pocket parks distributed throughout the development. We do have a parcel map that was submitted to you guys. If you guys already have it in your files, if not, please let us know and I can get that over to you guys as well. As you can see on your screens, thank you for bringing that up. So the project improves circulation connectivity by extending Indiana Avenue and Iowa Avenue to Vine Street. It enhances the neighborhood accessibility, providing critical secondary access routes for emergency services and flow of traffic. In addition to the parks that we create, of course, we'll be bringing in some features for children, et cetera, to make sure it's a true community park where residents don't have to go outside of it to be able to host events, as well as have play structures that's needed for the local, that's as long as they're safe and sound. The site's located within the city's adopted urban growth boundary planning area where residential development has been planned and anticipated. The 2030 general plan identifies approximately 8,400 additional housing units during its built-out period, which approximately 49% is designated as low-density residential. The project contributes its 206 units towards achieving those long-term housing goals. The project reflects the general plan principles of compact urban form, integrated neighborhoods by providing a mix of lot sizes, maintaining the compatibility with the surrounding low-density residential development, and creating a cohesive neighborhood, along with following the very low as well to the southern and eastern borders. Consistent with implementing action LUI-11, the project includes a centrally located neighborhood park, as mentioned before, as common community along with additional pockets to adhere to that action that was implemented by planning as part of the code. The project supports the city's housing production efforts as well. And we've gone through preliminary reviews with the planning staff as well to ensure how does this work instead of just doing a cookie cutter 5,000 square foot lots, which we originally did start with. As you know, housing is expensive to develop in the state of California, and housing developers and builders look for maximizing their returns. We were able to take these lot size from 276 units, bring it down to 202 by providing various amount of lot sizes that range from 14,000 square feet down to roughly 5,500 square feet to allow people to have the option of choosing what size they want, having a backyard, having a pool, so they can fit the amenities that best suit their families. In addition to this, the project is phased as a development. It'll be put into 4 phases, with the smallest phase going first, which would be the northwestern phase, and the southeastern being the last phase. The phasing approaching, it helps offset significant upfront infrastructure investments, including utilities and offsite improvements. And to add on to utilities, we do have access to water, we do have access to sewer. The ponding basin we've worked out to be as a part of the existing one in the golf course, which will be increased. And we're working with the city engineering and planning towards mitigating those items. Overall, the project aligns with city's general plan, enhances connectivity, provides meaningful community amenities, and contributes to the city's long-term housing objectives. We're here today to get your guys' preliminary feedback on what we're bringing and see how we can take that and apply it towards our future updates before we bring you a finalized version to see for this project. So the floor is open to you guys to provide any feedback, any questions. We're here to answer them.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and start because I don't have a lot of questions, but I will just say that I'm not a fan of the big park being built in phase 3.
Right.
That's just me personally.
Yes.
That seems like it's a long ways out. I do realize there's a pocket park in phase 1 and also one in phase 2. But that major park being in phase 3, not my choice, but any other questions or comments from?
Yeah, where was
Council?
the first pocket park for phase 1?
I don't see a pocket park for phase 1. I see.
So that's phase
2,
4. I'm sorry.
3,
Right.
phase
I was looking at the wrong
So
phases.
phase 2 would work. So phase 1 and 2 would go side by side. The reason why we took the park out of, or we didn't take it, we moved the park lines over and reduced phase 1 to smaller size, because that's going to bear the biggest brunt to the improvements of bringing the water from down the street, which is, so sewer line's about 1,000 feet out, and the water lines even further, or the water lines at the northern part of the property. So the infrastructure improvements are going to be very heavy to bring the sewer out to be able to withstand all of the future developments. So the first small phase, how we calculated by talking to a home builder, was that this is what they would need to be able to cover their costs, get utilities there, and then spread it out from there moving forward. That was the ideology based on advice from home builders. We're just the planners and developers. The true home builders got involved in this to tell us what's the best way to phase this.
Can I ask who the home builder is?
We're talking to DR. We had KB's feedback from their real estate, and there is a local one. I cannot remember. Crown also gave us some feedback, but there's a local one out of Visalia that we talked to as well. They're the ones that actually provide us an ample amount of feedback on top of the others. But I will email it to you as soon as I remember who it was in the office.
Is there a way to make it feasible to add that park to phase two?
Add that big park to
Mhm.
phase two. Why don't we give it a shot? Right, and on our side, and see if we can split that park, but split that park into two phases. Maybe the top half goes to phase two and the bottom half goes to phase three. Would that be something we can have a plan
Well,
into the development?
I see recreational sports area. What's your definition of recreational sports area?
So putting in some soccer posts, right? So kids can play soccer. Again, as far as who's going to maintain this, who's going to keep this up, also has to come into play. We'll work with planning. But our goal was to get some, get some soccer posts up, get things out there. Of course, pergola, a couple of things that allow for shade, as well as tables and chairs for people to host events. Far as any sort of playground goes, as you know, we live in a society of liability in California. So we can work with planning to see what's needed. As long as it fits within it, we would love to bring something that the community can use.
My good sir, let me introduce you to Jonathan Brewster, the Little League master guru.
You
All
gotta
you
with
sports.
that.
All youth sports.
Except so,
They got-
okay, so we didn't hit the nail there, I guess, huh? Yeah, we would.
Backstops.
Yeah, we need backstops. Lots of backstops. Another question for the lot size of a 14,000 square foot lot. How big of a house are you putting on that lot?
Whatever the zoning code will allow for maximum coverage is what the builder would be allowed to do, but I don't anticipate anybody coming with 8,000 square foot homes. Honestly, I think Lemoore's, if we look at the demographic from the feedback that I got, it has to be affordable for the market segment here. So their ranges is between 1,350 to 3,500 square feet. And that's what's affordable. If you're at 275 bucks a square foot, I mean, we're already hitting the 800,000, 700,000s. And we got to understand who the demographic is that we're going to cater to instead of having lots of sit empty.
Lot 46, 104, 206, 170. Why are they circled?
Total
Oh, okay, I
amount.
see.
Yeah, that's the last number of lots in each phase.
Gotcha.
Good one, Matt. Thanks. As you can see, the pros are behind me. I'm just.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Talk a little bit about, in your presentation, talk a little bit about improving circulation and connectivity onto Vine Street. What do you propose on Vine Street?
We haven't done the traffic full analysis yet, Councilmember Gornick, but it will link into Ironwood as well. So our streets would go from.
Have you done any traffic analysis with the planning department?
We have not gotten that far yet. That'll be a part of our rezone study. That's going to be a traffic analysis needed. We already know about the noise mitigation with the wall. We know access is there. We know Vine Street's going to be able to handle the traffic coming in phased. Whatever traffic analysis provides us for mitigation efforts, we will of course implement those as we go. Our goal is to move the traffic flow from Vine into Ironwood to have interior traffic circulate, not just off of Vine, but also go off of Ironwood on the back end as well as people come off of South Lemoore Avenue.
I have a question on that now. That's a county island.
Mhm.
Are we going to annex that?
That's not what we're talking about today.
Well, I understand that, but we're talking about putting a property right next to that, and now you're talking a whole nother can of worms.
Well, it's not technically an island because we don't surround it.
Okay, we butt up against it, and
Mhm.
we're going to push past it now, and we're surrounding it on two sides. Just food
My
for
biggest
thought.
concern about this project is you've got, if you were successful, you'd have 206 homes.
Phased out over a multiple year development. These will not go on at simultaneously at the same time, but
Oh, I
on a
realize that.
tentative, yeah, on a tentative map, tentatively, yes, 206 proposed. We would final map phase at a time.
Yeah. That's approaching 400 automobiles.
That's approximately approaching 400 automobiles.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
And they're gonna exit that area via Iona Avenue.
They're gonna enter that area
Either
via,
east or west. They're gonna go,
sorry.
they're gonna have to land on Iona to get out of that area.
Ironwood.
Or Ironwood.
Yeah, they're gonna end up on Ironwood or Vine Street to be able to get out of there. That is correct. Eventually leading to South Lemoore or going north or south or Vine Street to Idaho. So whether they go north on Vine Street, once we get the traffic pattern analysis, we'll be able to see if they go north on Vine, what improvements might be needed in our general vicinity area. But as far as the traffic goes based on residential, probably would be split between going south on Vine for people heading south to Idaho and going north on Vine heading up to Bush or heading up accordingly towards the freeway.
Where's Ironwood on this map?
It's going to be right to the east of the map.
I have a map on my phone I can show you.
There could be, if we go to
On
the
the east side
previous
of the-
attachment. There we go.
So Ironwood isn't gonna actually connect to Idaho, correct? That
No,
goes
No,
past,
that is correct. They're gonna
Yeah.
go through South Lemoore.
so it would go that way, or you would go to Lemoore Avenue
Yeah.
through Indiana
And I
or
believe-
Iowa.
And I believe Vine for engineering is one of the major arterial commuter streets. And then we do have connections in our plans. You can see that connects to Iowa on the southern portion. And it will connect into, I'm not sure the name of the street, but on the northern side, what Ironwood connects into Lemoore, that street connects into our parcel as well, into the phase 2. Phase 1 will exit all onto Vine.
You know, one of the other issues that, at the last meeting, we had a nice discussion about, this section of the city with respect to traffic. But also, you're also gonna put, a good number of young kids in this area. And there's really no way for them to get to a school other than either, I don't even know if school district will bus them or if their parents got to drive them or whatever. But I really think you guys should look into a pedestrian bridge. Start talking to Caltrans about that.
Oh, over the freeway?
The city has been
Yeah.
trying to do that already. But development like this on that side of the freeway will help with that.
Do you guys own the property yet?
Yes.
You guys do?
Vine owns the property, that is correct.
Okay.
Have you seen the subdivision area south of the golf course or on the golf course?
The subdivision around the golf course?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen that area that it's almost pristine, almost looks like it the first time they opened it? Large lots, nice homes.
Right.
Very
right.
seldom do you see a for sale sign there. There is a market for larger homes.
Right, 100%. We believe that, but we don't believe there's 206 large home apartments. So we left it to be about 15 larger lots on here. And we took that into consideration. We do understand how do numbers break down on the dynamics of just overall market segment of Lemoore, and we dove into those demos thanks to the planning department. And Christy helped us figure those things out to see how would this really work, and that's why we were able to say no. We can pan these out. So Councilmember Gornick, we left the northern parcels along the golf course as the larger ones, so they can kind of blend right in instead of having a bunch of small cookie cutters along that. Also along the east where it's very low density, and along the southern portion, those are the bigger ones.
Any other questions or comments from council? Go ahead and open this. Oh, go ahead. The question online is what are the price range of these homes?
We do not have any builder, any developer yet. This will be first tentative, then we will go to a home builder, but it has to be competitive in the market a little more. These are not gonna be your premium, top of the line custom homes. These are gonna be your entry level home prices, partially built in with entry level developers. Then they can phase out into different segments. So they do want to bring, I believe, 3 to 4 products is what they told us the ideal goal for Lemoore would be.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Any last comments from council?
Your ponding basin,
Yes.
you said you were gonna partner with the golf course, or how did you say that again?
So there's existing ponding basin there. And we were able to work with engineering to figure out our calculus for our off run. And that ponding basin will be able to hold the off run that's coming from our water. If for any reason, once we get to finalization, it needs to be improved, and we will improve it. But it currently has the capacity to hold our runoff water.
And so this is gonna be like a hidden piece, like not in the view, or
No,
you're not gonna.
It's
put,
already
like,
existing there. No one sees it.
really, God, because
Yeah.
The one
because-
next to the fire station?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it's there, it's a part of the green, I think, on the southern part of the
Yeah.
golf course. Yeah, it's a part
Our
of the
golf ball
green.
goes in it all the time.
you're not supposed to hit it there.
Because our other option was to take our green space and turn that into
Yeah.
into a ponding basin, which we didn't really want
No.
to do. Because that takes away from what it's meant to be for.
Well, thank you, sir.
No, my pleasure.
I'll just close with, since nobody has anything else, that I would really like to see the big park sooner than phase 3. So I'll just
Okay.
reiterate that. But I think that's all that we have.
Perfect. If any other questions arise, we're still in the beginning phases. Please do feel free to let us know.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming and presenting the.
Okay.
Now we have item 2-2. You're not
Come on,
running up to the
Jocelyn.
podium. Budget workshop revenues. Thank you.
So good evening, council, staff, and community. As you know, my name is Jocelyn Valdez, and I'm the finance director for the city of Lemoore. So I've prepared a brief presentation containing our proposed fiscal year 27 revenues, as well as a brief overview of where we currently stand for the current budget. So this is the second step of our budget process, and in future meetings, we will be bringing back revisions, thank you, and a first draft of the budget review. If you have brief questions along the way, please feel free to ask as I go through the slides. But if you have suggested revisions or more detailed information that you would like on an item, if you could please hold those down to the end, so I can make notations of them and bring them back at the next meeting. So
Johnson, I have one recommendation. When for some of the acronyms you have in here, would you, for
yes.
my benefit and anybody else who doesn't know what they are, would you
Yes.
tell us what they are? I'll fess up to it. I know these guys well.
Nope, still not gonna do it. Can you, yeah. First slide, please. So we're going to start with our revenues, just going over a reminder of what we're talking about when we're looking at our revenues, our property taxes, sales tax, various taxes, motor vehicle in lieu, franchise fees, business license, animal licenses, our permits, cannabis revenue, various zoning fees. PD has miscellaneous fees, our recreation programs, and other incomes there. Next slide. So we're going to start looking at our general fund budgeted revenue for fiscal 26. In the first category, we have our taxes consisting of our property tax and other taxes. Property tax is on par to hit where we budgeted. Our other taxes are coming in at 110%. Mostly Measure S is coming in higher than was expected. Fees and licensing, we're on track to hit our budget. Permits overall are on track to hit. Our other permits are very minor, but it is the garage sale permits are boosting. It is really helping with our Munis online system, making it more available to and easy for our residents to get these permits. Fees and licensing is increasing. Planning fees is cyclical. It depends on the development that comes in. They may not always be as high as they are showing this year. We have a large public improvement plan check come in. And again, the use of the online system is really helping to boost our permits and fees. Public Works is up as well. We're getting more street cuts and special inspections. PD fees are up. We are collecting more DUI revenue. Recreation's on track and our fines are slightly up. Next page. We have the intergovernmental section. Our police-related income is up. We have newly revenue coming in, the SB 90 claims. SB 90 is the Senate Bill 90, which is the reimbursement from the state controller's office for personnel staff time for mandated claims enforced by the state that we're mandated to report. We get to recoup some of our personnel costs for that. Before Marissa came to the city, we didn't know what SB 90 was and had never collected on it. So we did a catch up for the years that we could collect and we'll continue going forward. Grant proceeds, what we originally expected, I believe, was the REAP funding did not come in. That has changed throughout the year. Transfers in is the cost allocation from the dispatch reserve fund for the dispatch department, as well as impact fees that will cover part of the ESG project, the energy savings project that we have. We've captured the proceeds from the capital leases, the income that we will receive for the loan payments for the work committed there. And our investment income is slightly down, but it's pretty close to hitting budget for this year. Our property rentals are slightly down. There has been a little bit of issues. Our parks and rec module is not on the new Munis system. They don't have an external source. It's all manually tracking and it's caused some issues of being able to capture and advertise for our rentals. So we are looking to bring them online through our Civic Plus program, which will help really boost their income.
The investment income, is that an amount that just for the general fund, right?
Just general fund.
Okay.
Yes, that's just their portion.
And how do you determine the amount you want to invest?
The amount that we want to invest,
Yeah.
It's based on our total cash available.
Available
So
at that
every fund gets their proportionate share based on their cash balance each month. So that as we intentionally spend down, like for the ESG, and you'll see that, I'll talk about it in the later slides. As we intentionally spend those downs, we will receive less investment income, per fund.
Or put it in the investment fund?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And miscellaneous revenue, which attributes to donations, workers' comp reimbursements, and just admin impact fees, is up. So looking at general fund, we budgeted 18.4 million, and we are projecting it coming in 21.3. So a surplus of 2.8. And on the next slide, I'd like to break that down a little bit more. So highlighting our general fund, like I mentioned, the Measure S is trending to exceed our budgeted expectant by $1 million. We are already at our budgeted amount now, so we're doing very well. SB 90 claims, which is totally new income this fiscal year, will receive 416,000. Planning fees have increased 300,000. Public works fees have increased about 12,000, and PD fees have increased about 6,000. So I wrote this down as true revenue of 1.7 because that is the actual budgeted income that's increased. I don't want to look at ESG lease proceeds as being revenue per se, because that is just the accounting function. If we have to capture the lost for words, as we spend down the loan funds, as we work through the project, we have to draw those funds, right, to be able to pay for that. And that is just recording those ins and outs for that lease. So it's not true income and it shouldn't be looked at as that. So the general fund for fiscal 26 is looking at a surplus of 1.7 from where we budgeted. Okay, so moving on to the next slide, we will go into enterprise funds for fiscal 26. The revenue categories that we talk about with enterprise funds consists of our water consumption charges, meter charges, connection fees, delinquent fees, investment income as well, property rentals, sewer and refuse have charge for service, and special pickups within refuse. And of course, we have fleet charge for services. Next slide. So starting with water fees and licenses, our charges for service, we budgeted 11.4 million. And right now I'm projecting that we're going to come in at 9.9. That is wholly due to consumption being down. And after analyzing it, there are a lot of dead meters that we still have out there. SUSP has done a good job of replacing those, but as those go in, we have new meters that are going down constantly. So the AMI project that we are implementing right now should help to recoup, to capture the consumption charges that we're currently losing. Their investment income based on their fund cash balance is on par to meet the budgeted amount. So water refuse or water fund budgeted 12 million. We're projecting 10 million with a decrease of 1.5. Refuse fund fees and licensing charge for service is on par. They have a slight increase. We budgeted 4.8 and we're looking to hit right at 5 million. And we did do the refuse state study rates that went into effect in December. And so that little bit of income will help increase. Their investment income is down as well, and that's just as their same thing as their cash balance. They purchase trucks and things throughout the year, they will receive less. And the miscellaneous revenue is right on par. So refuse, we budgeted just over 5 million, and we are looking to sit at 5.1, so an increase of 130 over budgeted. Next page, we'll talk about sewer fund. The charge for services, we budgeted 3.9 and they're on track to hit that. Investment income slightly under, but again, based on their fund balance, and they're starting to pay for their ESG projects, so that is going to go down as well. And also capturing the proceeds from the capital leases there. So again, that's not true income to them. So we budgeted them at 4.4 and we're looking to hit the 7.2, which gives them a total over budget of 2.8 million. And I will break that again on the next page. But fleet, did you have a question? Fleet charges for service, we budgeted 1.4. They're looking to end at about 1.2. Fleet is really a mirror of their expenditures with a small inflator that captures to recoup their negative fund balance. So overall, our enterprise funds, we budgeted 22.9 million. We're expecting to end at 24.1 million. So a total overage of 1.2 million. On the next page, going over some revenue highlights from there. Like I mentioned, water consumption revenue has decreased, but we are looking to recoup that through the AMI smart meters. Refuse is holding steady. Sewer is holding steady, but we are also looking to do a rate study for a possible increase, but we won't see that revenue until fiscal 27. And fleet, as I mentioned, revenue mirrors our expenditures with an inflator to cover their negative fund balance. So if we factor out the ESG proceeds, our enterprise revenue is down the 1.5 million due to our water consumption. Okay, going into next fiscal year, proposed revenues for general fund. Starting with our taxes, looking at fiscal 27 adopted and fiscal 27 proposed, we did 3.7 and we're looking at 3.9. Everything is pretty steady across the board. Made some small increases for the increases that we're seeing within like the fees and licensing. Munis, like I mentioned, is really helping us to capture more permit fees across the board, helping staff to communicate better so we can recoup outside third-party fees or interwest fees, things like that. We're actually being recouped and applied to all of our permits across the board. Go to the next slide. Intergovernmental, we'll see an increase there over the 26 adopted with the implementation of the SB 90 claims that we're now seeing. Proceeds from our capital leases, that's not true income, remember. Our investment income is looking to go up slightly based on our estimates for cash balances. And we're looking to increase that property, the facility rentals as we move them on board to an online system, which should help them advertise more and make reservations easier to apply for. So general fund, we had a $18.4 million adopted budget for 26, and we are looking at being at 21.7 proposed for 27. So that's an increase of 3.3 million in revenue. And again, I want to break it down on the next slide. So measure S, I have left it at the conservative rate that we currently calculate it. We have a meeting with HDL next week. So if there is a new measurement based on how it's trending now, we could actually see an increase, but I didn't want to make that adjustment here. So at the next meeting, if there is an adjustment, I will bring that. We will continue to see increases in our fees and licenses with Munis being more accessible. SB 90 claims have increased our revenues this year. We've also added a collection agreement with Airbnb for TOT tax. That went into effect March 1st. And I put that we expect it to be minimal. There's not very many homes. I looked at it this morning and there was 15 homes that were, or places listed with it. We did receive our first check today for it because it's the end. And so on 1 month, it was just under 2,000 that we collected. So it could bring us an additional 10 to 20,000 a year. Parks and Rec is not currently on our Munis system. It's hindering our rentals, but we are looking to bring them on board with Civic Plus, and we expect that to increase. So again, 3.3 million, but factoring out those lease proceeds, we're looking at actually being up from last year, just over $1 million in revenue. Okay, moving into our enterprise funds for fiscal 27. The water fund, I have decreased the revenue for now, judging on trending. If hopefully it comes in higher, but the AMI meters are going to take some time. And so I think we won't see the full effects of those until fiscal 28. The use of the money, our investment income will decrease as they spend down for the meter AMI project. Refuse fund, charges for service are slowly increasing theirs. We bring on new homes and such, their refuse rates increase as well. Their investment income will drop a little bit as they purchase their vehicles. as well as they have a very small miscellaneous revenue. Okay, moving into sewer fund. Charges for service at 3.9 for 26, and we're looking at just over 4 for 27. And investment income will drop as well as they are doing significant CIPs this year. Proceeds from the capital leases, again, don't recognize that as revenue. Fleet fund charges for service, they are pretty steady at just over $1 million. So again, they mirror their expenditures with a small inflator. So our total enterprise fund for fiscal 26 was 22.9 million. And for 27, we are looking at being at 28.8. An increase of 5.9 over last year. So on the next page, going over their highlights, the water with the new AMI meters being installed will help us recover August consumption. But again, we won't see that until fiscal 28. Our investment income will decrease as we intentionally spend down for those CIPs. Refuse as well will see a slight increase as we continue to add in new homes and with the new rate study that was approved. Intentional spending down for their CIPs as well. Sewer, we're looking to complete that rate study, so we will possibly have an increase, but we don't have any estimates yet to be able to provide that. Investment income will decrease as well due to their intentional spending. And fleet really is maintaining revenue mirrors their expenditures with an inflator for negative fund balance. So factoring out the ESG proceeds, our enterprise revenue is down 825,000 due to the expected decline of the investment income with our intentional spending of our fund balance. And that is all I have. Do you have any
I
questions?
know you have questions. Go ahead.
Oh, it's a great job. Just a couple of things that would, what do our auditors say about ESG? I know you're talking about whether or not to treat it as revenue, and I understand why, but what do they say?
We haven't talked to our auditors about ESG. That is a fiscal 26 transaction, so we wouldn't speak to them until next year. We're completing the audit for fiscal 25 right now.
But just in terms of their advice, in terms of how to
In terms of their what?
their advice in terms of how to treat it. Is it a revenue or?
I can ask them for that question.
I'm just curious what they would say about it, because of.
I didn't
Yeah.
consult them. I didn't think I needed to, but
Oh, that's
I
fine.
can.
Yeah. The other thing is, is it consistent throughout the way you treat it for all the funds?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the other question I had was, I don't know what the fund balances are.
And we will bring that at the next meeting when I do the draft, the full budget presentation.
Okay. Are they all good? Or are there some that I noticed you had a couple that were? Because the fund balance determines how much you choose to invest, right?
Not choose to invest. Whatever their cash balance is what we invest.
Okay. And how does that affect the,
So as we spend it down, there will be less to invest, of course, right?
okay, so operationally,
Mm-hmm.
we are spending the investment. We're not increasing any, like, let's say for the general fund.
Mm-hmm.
Are we carrying a reserve or are we spending the reserve?
I will bring that at the next meeting.
Good. It's like a mystery novel.
That's to get you back here at the next meeting.
Good.
Mhm.
Bring your popcorn.
Did you guys have any other questions or comments?
Yeah, Mayor, if you don't mind. Director Valdez, first, I commend you, another great workshop. I do have three things, if you don't mind. First one is, how do we determine this 1.1 million for the ESG project?
So that's based on the pay application throughout the life of the project. So that is the only payment that we will see within fiscal 26. The rest of it will be spread out to 27.
Right. And then with that money, I'm assuming we already have that fund,
Mhm.
right? So once we determine a burn down rate for it, are we able to invest those to slow down the burn down?
Say that again.
So for example, we have 1.1 million, and for month one, we're only spending let's say let's say 200,000 out of that 1.1 million, right? Can we invest those in short term? Have we considered those?
Not sure I'm tracking with you on there.
Right.
So the 1.1 million, you're talking about what we,
I think he's thinking of it as like we're making monthly payments, right?
Mhm.
But we're making an annual payment to ES,
Oh, it is
to the bank, yeah.
annual.
Yeah, so that 1.1 that comes in, that's because we have spent 1.1 million. So in reality, it is a wash with expenditures and revenue.
Yeah, so it's not
And
like
that's why I
nothing.
don't treat it as like we have to book it on accounting wise in your revenue buckets, but it's not actual revenue. We are drawing down on those loan proceeds for what we've paid out for that project.
Got it. So we make annual payments rather than monthly, right?
Correct.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. Second one, are we doing a presentation on the investment strategies that we have? How do we allocate them?
We've done presentations when we first implemented with Optimized. So if we need a refresher at any point, we can bring that back, but it's a ladder strategy. We range them out anywhere from a year to 5 years. We have short-term investments, and it's all in your investment report that I bring you quarterly. It breaks it down where it's invested, whether it's in federal treasuries, CDs. It's all broken down on there for
Perfect.
you.
Do we
And
have like a specific policy for it on how we invest and allocate them?
yes, I brought the investment policy last council meeting, and the quarterly investment for the third quarter is coming at the next.
Okay. I'll
Council
review
meeting.
those. Thank you.
Mhm.
And then the last thing is, as we previously talked about, if it's possible to create like a comparison matrix side by side so that we can view the historical as well as the projected and the forecast,
Yes,
if possible.
yes.
Thank you, Director.
Jocelyn, thank you so much for what you do. I would be horrible at your job.
Thank you.
I'm yes, this has all come a long ways thanks to, I'm not gonna give Frank praise, but thanks to Frank, I mean, yeah, I can understand it now. But yes, very good job. I really appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
It's a whole nother language, I don't know.
Numbers.
Yeah, that's scary stuff. Scary stuff.
Fractions, yeah,
Yeah.
they're hard, yeah.
I just have a couple of questions that aren't really about the numbers, but I was just curious, the property taxes that we receive, do we know what percentage of property taxes we receive as a city?
I can ask.
I'm sorry.
I can ask.
Okay, thank you. And then sorry. For the water fund, the budgeted revenues for fiscal year 25, 26, and then also for the ones going forward, is that including the Leprino East closing? Does that have an impact on that?
So I was trying to determine that today. Leprino, I think, has finally come down to the end of it. Over the last 2 months,
Mhm.
we still saw normal consumption from them prior to that. So I think we'll feel it a little bit in this fiscal year, but the full effects will be felt next fiscal year.
Okay.
And I can look to bring you what those numbers are estimated at.
That would be great. I think that was all of my questions. I just want to make sure real quick. Yeah, that was it for me. You sounded like you had another
Well,
question.
your comment triggered a thought. Can you break out something, it's not something we need to do in annual reports, but in terms of annually, I noticed you had a report here in terms of revenue, but retail, industrial, where are your?
As far as water consumption for
as
those?
far as where they come from, where, if it was a pie chart, what would it look like? Would it be retail in terms of?
For sales tax?
Sales tax, yeah, that's what I meant to say, sales tax, property tax, all those kinds of things.
I can bring that for you next time.
Yeah, I'd just be curious to see what we're generating and how, and what if it's changed even.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that might be built into the budget already, right? Isn't there a pie chart in there for?
In the budget
revenue?
book, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that should be coming up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We collect that data, it's not just,
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions or comments from the public on this item? Mr. Walker?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council, and incredible job. Like it just phenomenal as always. And I just wanted to say that this is a very, very different conversation that we were having a couple of years ago and even a year ago. Pre-Measure S, it was a really horrible situation in my personal opinion, where we were talking about laying off cops and risking public safety and cutting parks programs and stuff like that. So as someone who's personally campaigned for Measure S, I'm very happy to hear that it's helping preserve our city, which was one of the taglines. But one of the things I wanted to voice for the council's consideration as you're developing the budget, I know challenges continue, as challenges always continue with budgets. But I just wanted to re-emphasize from the Lemoore Chamber of Commerce's point of view that we used to have a general line item for a contract that helped supported our community events, such as the Lemoore Christmas Parade. And just wanted to re-emphasize and continue that dialogue off dais about bringing that back, especially because we are trending in a positive way in terms of revenues. And one of the things that we discussed with Measure S is being able to make those sustainable investments in our community, because I can't think of a better investment in our community than local groups that are making a difference for our residents, creating culture and bringing in revenue through people just being in downtown and shopping in our stores and driving revenue even further. So just want to reemphasize that and just thank the council for continuing to do these budget workshops, and of course staff, because as staffer, my other hats I wear, I know how difficult it can be.
Any other public comment on this item? I'll just add to what Alex said. I know when Measure S was coming through, that tax revenue didn't even cover our shortfall at the time. So Measure S was huge in bridging that gap, but I also want to give kudos to staff who have also really doubled down and helped bridge the rest of that gap. And so thank you all for all your hard work and getting us where it looks like we are. So I'm looking forward to the final presentation where it all comes together and seeing how that all works out. So thank you for that presentation. We'll go on to public comment. Public comment will be in accordance with the attached policy. This time is reserved for members of the audience to address the city council on items of interest that are not on the agenda and are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council. It is recommended that speakers limit their comments to 3 minutes each, and it is requested that no comments be made during this period on items on the agenda. The council is prohibited by law from taking any action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda. Prior to addressing the council, any handouts for council will be provided to the city clerk for distribution to the council and appropriate staff. The public will have an opportunity to comment on items on the agenda once the item has been called and the mayor opens the item to the public. Is there any public comment at this time? Mr. Walker.
Last 3 minutes, I promise. No, thank you, Madam Mayor and Council, and good evening, everybody. Speaking on behalf of the Rotary Club of Lemoore, just wanted to thank the community for a fantastic turnout at our food drive. Not only benefiting Lemoore Christian Aid, but Lemoore College's food pantry to Golden Eagle Nest as well. We're able to get a number of non-perishable, goods for both pantries, and we're also continuing our financial campaign to invest in them as well. We're already just shy of halfway through our goal of $5,000. And I just want to remind the community that we're matching donations up to $5,000. So every dollar that you put in, we'll put in a dollar as well, up to that $5,000 marker, with a hopeful goal of a total investment of $10,000 for these groups, because they benefit our community. I didn't notice at the time, it wasn't something that existed when I was a Lemoore College student myself, that it's not just grocery items like milk, eggs, and things like that. It's also like shampoo and other types of products that students need, helping address a barrier in our community. And Lemoore Christian Aid, a fantastic organization, a pillar of our community, not only providing food assistance for our local residents, but all across Kings County. So it really is an important time to
consider giving, even as a dollar will be doubled if you consider giving just that much. And I just wanted to reemphasize that we turned out in force for the Golden Evening under the Stars with 3 tables. We also had one with the Mooney Museum. It was just an incredible evening of community coming together to benefit those organizations. Also, for the Ceremony Museum, this Saturday is the ice cream social. So I hope you mark your calendars. The first 50 kids are free, thanks to a generous donation of one of the Lemoore Chamber of Commerce's members, SUSP. So we're going to be having all these little fun activities for the family, and make sure you get your Superior Dairy ice cream because nothing can quite beat it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comment? Go ahead.
It's just a public comment period, not a public question period. But if Kevin would like to email me, my email address is mtrejo@lemoore.com, and I can get that information and respond back to.
Thank you. Any other public comment? See none, we'll go ahead and move on to department and city manager reports.
I have no reports, but I know the chief does.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tomorrow, we will be going live with dispatch. At 8 in the morning, they will start pointing all the non-emergency calls to the department. They will start testing lines, and then at some point after that, all the 911 calls will be directed to our dispatch center.
Congratulations.
The fun begins.
The fun starts now. It's a new set of problems, but they're good problems to have. That's all I have. Thank you.
Wow, I can't believe it's
I know.
Finally.
But, yeah, it's 4 years, I think.
more.
Yeah.
It's been like
Longer than
8.
that.
Just want to see if you're paying attention, Chief.
Was that it for the? Now we'll go ahead and move on to consent calendar. Items considered routine in nature are placed on the consent calendar. They will all be considered and voted upon in one vote as one item, unless a council member or member of the public requests individual consideration. Item 4-1, approval minutes, regular meeting, April 7th, 2026. 4-2, approval acceptance of the 2025 general plan annual progress report. 4-3, approval acceptance of easement deed right of way from Don Edward Siegel Revocable Trust, a Revocable Living Trust, APN 023-020-050. 4-5, approval Cinnamon Drive and 19th Avenue Traffic Signal and Improvements Project and budget amendment. 4-5, approval Liberty Drive and Hanford Ramona Road Traffic Signal and Improvements Project and budget amendment. 4-6, approval Bush Street and 19.5 Avenue Traffic Signal and Improvements Project and budget amendment. 4-4, approval adoption of resolution number 2026-11, supporting a joint transit grant for the Intercity Rail Capital Program. 4-8, information only, finance update, March 2026. 4-9, information only, fire department update, March 2026. 4-10, information only, building update, March 2026. 4-11, information only, police department update, 2026. 4-12, information only, EDC report for the city of Lemoore. Is there anyone on council that would like to pull any of those items?
Yes.
I knew it. Which list is shorter, the ones you don't want to pull or the ones you want to pull?
Just one.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
4.2.
okay. Anyone else? Is there anyone from the public that would like to pull any of these items? Then I will entertain a motion to approve consent calendar items 4-1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Motion.
The motion by Councilmember Lyons.
Second.
Have a second by Councilmember Brewster. Councilmember Lyons.
Yes.
Councilmember Brewster.
Yes.
Councilmember Cruz.
Yes.
Councilmember Gornick.
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Passes 5 in favor. Item 4-2, did you have specific?
Yes.
Questions?
So I had an opportunity to read the document and I make some suggestions, whether or not you want them or not. It's up to you. 3.3, we're in the implementation action phase of this document. And it has to do with some of the presentation we had just tonight and other discussions we recently had with respect to some of the housing developments and what we want to have in the city. I think somewhere in the document, it's important to say what we've done with respect to going our own way with our relationship with the state as opposed to the county in terms of our housing. I don't know what the acronym is.
Housing element.
Yeah, the housing element is. I think that's important. But my comments really have to do with the rhetoric we use, and I'd like to suggest that staff take a look at that. For example, 3.3, it says utilize planned developments and other creative mechanism to facilitate the construction of more creative, well-designed housing projects. So, you know, what's well-designed to a developer is not necessarily what's well-designed to what we talked about. And we made some comments last time about, well, maybe we need to provide you with more advice, not only at the planning commission, but also in the planning department of what some of our priorities are. I think that needs a little bit more definition in terms of what the city wants, or at least my thoughts about it. So the next item is on park, schools, and community facilities. Here again.
What page is that one on?
Mr. Gornick,
Thank you.
Mr. Gornick.
Yeah, it's
So
park, schools, and
long
community
as-
facilities.
Mr. Gornick?
Yeah,
So that I can follow along, are you speaking to the implementing actions or the status comments?
on both.
Okay, because the implementing actions, those are direct from the general plan, so I can't change those.
Well,
Those are what we have in the existing general plan. So
Yeah,
what
why
this
can't you change-
document, so
why
what,
can't you change?
excuse me?
Why can't you change?
Because this document is merely a report on the general plan for 2025. So when I do the 2026 report in the status comment section, I will add about the housing element that we,
Well, that's what that's what I'm referring. The item that came to us in the email said, if you have suggestions, this is where to make them. And so
yeah, so I'm just trying to, so that I can make notes. I'm
I'll email you.
follow where you're,
I'll email you. this-
oh,
this stuff
perfect.
out.
Okay, because I'm trying to follow you and,
I'm just doing it for myself, but I'll email this to you.
okay, that would be very helpful. Thank you.
But in terms of the comments we were talking about with respect to the number of kids that are going to be on the south side of 198 and access to the schools, high school, whatever, you know, and the mayor said to me, well, we've been trying to work on that thing for a while. Well, it should be a part of our plan. If we're going to talk about getting kids over there, we're not going to build another school on the south side, so we might as well get away to kids over on the other side.
Can I add something real quick?
Sure.
So this general plan was adopted by the city of Lemoore in what year, Christy? Like early 2000s?
Yeah, 05.
2008.
All right.
So this is the annual report for the 2008 general plan. And so in January of this year, you approved or we released an RFP for the next general plan. And that will also be helpful too with your notes of what council would like to see in the new general plan. Especially if we want to, I know you had mentioned to me yesterday, we met in my office and you had a great suggestion that we reach out to the local school districts, both the elementary school and the high school, to see if we could get their support and having them also make it a priority to get a pedestrian bridge. So all of those things, even though they can still be talked about tonight, will be helpful for Christy to have when she's working on the next general plan, because then we have the ability to include that in the document where right now we're working off the 2008 document.
Right. Let's see, housing and neighborhood conservation. So this part also has to do with, we mentioned the police department in this. So, part of my pet peeve is, sometimes you guys are overworked and you've got somebody who's doing compliance issues and community service issues and all kinds of other stuff. And I think at some point we need to examine where we want compliance to be. And, because if it's just, a matter of citations or whatever, maybe that's not the best use of your time, or officer time. And that's all I'm saying. But, because I think that's something that we could help, our residents in terms of, what it means to have a home and what you need to do in terms of what you can do in your front yard, what you can do in your backyard if you have one, or, what are some of the restrictions that we have. And I think that's part of an educational program that the city needs to provide as well. The other part is, the 4.2 talks about homeownership opportunities for lower and moderate income households. I think that's one of the strengths that we have, that we are involved. We met all of our quotas, but there's also an area that we also should begin to focus on and begin to think at developing some kind of, either with developers or either with our own land that we sell to a developer, opportunities for higher income housing in the city. Let's see. I got one or two more. We talked about and we've talked about it up here a couple of times over the year, but I don't know if, I guess this is the right place for it. Maybe it's not, but about focusing on this whole issue of regional parks or developing parks that are either supported by the city and not necessarily supported by the impact or the fees that homeowners pay. Let's see. Oh, there was one item here that I could find it. Oh yeah, here it is. It's on page 16. And I know we've included the we talk about median parkways, and then we talk about Iona Avenue, which is one of my pet peeves. So, but I didn't see anything on page 17 that related to Iona Avenue. And I thought, well, that might be a Freudian slip, I mean, maybe we didn't want to say anything about it, but what we've talked about, or what we don't want to recognize, it should be recognized in here, that it has some safety issues, it has some lighting issues that we need to address for the citizens who are living there and for the business that's going to be taking place there. It's a truck route. So that's it.
Any other questions or comments from council? Any questions or comments from the public on this item? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion for 4-2.
So move.
We have a motion by Councilmember Gornick,
Second.
second by Councilmember Cruz. Councilmember Gornick,
Aye.
Councilmember Cruz,
Yes.
Councilmember Lyons.
Yes.
Councilmember Brewster,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. Passes 5 in favor. Now, we have no public hearings, no new business, so we'll go ahead and move on to city council reports and requests. But before we do, I was going to ask Mr. Reed, do you have an update? for the mosquito abatement? I meant to catch you before the meeting and ask, but
Yeah, just a quick report on the mosquito abatement. A while back, just a couple weeks ago, they brought in about half of their seasonal staff, and they've completed all of their training, ready to go. And in a week or so, they will be bringing the other half. And I've met with the Aging Commission, and found it very interesting, and hope to get more involved in that when I get back from vacation. And just on a personal note, how's your mom?
she's home. She's doing much better. We're still working on it, but yeah, thank you. I have a quick question for you on the mosquito abatement employees. Are those the mosquito fighters or what do they do? The ones that they just trained?
They go out and do all the spraying,
Okay,
and they will, if someone calls. I know I have a sister-in-law who had a problem with mosquitoes, and they called and they sent someone out. And it was a problem with a little kiddie pool that she had. And though it may dry out, mosquitoes are there. So when you add water, there they are. So that was good information for her, which is good information for all of us.
yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Councilmember Brewster.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's see here. It's been a long couple weeks here. Last week, Tulare County Sheriff's Office had a deputy killed in the line of duty, Randy Hoppert. He lived in Kings County, shopped in Lemoore, all that good stuff. I knew him. It's no secret that I'm the president of the Deputy Sheriff's Association. So I've been working very closely with the Tulare County DSA. There's fundraisers all over the place, through PORAC, through the DSA. If you see something on GoFundMe, it's probably not real. There's nothing through GoFundMe. There has been scams. We've been trying to get ahead of it. But it's pretty freaking ridiculous. Got to take part of the procession the day he was killed. We took him from the hospital in Porterville all the way to the morgue in Tulare. That was very eye-opening. We still have a lot of support in the Central Valley for law enforcement. The roads were filled with people, flags, everything. It was a good turnout for them. Some other wonderful, crappy stuff that's happened in Sacramento. Lorenzo's Law failed. Public Safety Committee 4-3. So that has died in its tracks. It failed by one vote. So we will be continuing to do some work on that. I'll be heading up to SAC with the mayor. I don't know if anybody else is going. Is anybody else? Mayor and I are going to the Cal Cities Conference, Cities Week in Sacramento this week. And then just thank you to all the staff. Jocelyn, I know she had to leave, but the budget, Marissa, you guys have done a very good job from coming. The taxpayers of Lemoore have done a good job of supporting local business and getting tax revenue and everything up here. The state is in a deficit and don't expect any help from the state. We have to take care of ourselves. So, with that wonderful report, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Lyons.
It was Mr. Hopper.
Yeah.
Yeah, condolences to Mr. Hopper's family. That's, yeah. And then on the other side of the coin, Chief, the way Mr. Gornick is on Mrs. Valdez about the money, I'm gonna be on you about the dispatch center. I just can't believe that it's here. I'm gonna want to know like calls and stuff like that, like compared to, you know, what we were going through for 911 dispatching and all that. I know you know what I'm saying, but you're giving me nothing.
This is cost face.
I know, he's still, he barely cracked a smile.
He's worried you're gonna start calling just to see.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna, yeah. So, and yeah, and
His head's not red yet, so.
yeah, oh, he nodded, yes, I missed it. Oh, see, look, I get the nothing face all the time. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Cruz.
Mayor, as always, I would like to thank our city staff for ensuring that, our city is operating efficiently and effectively to the best of our abilities. And I also want to thank safety, PD, as well as fire. Thank you. There's a lot of wild things going on lately, and we truly appreciate you keeping us safe, making sure that we are all living comfortably and safely. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Gordon.
Just a brief update on our water situation. I say not necessarily ours, but in a more grander sense, the Tulare Lake Basin. It's very frustrating to represent the city and watch us be a part of a new agency that the state created, 240 of them in the state, groundwater sustainability agencies. And basically they're just like us. They're another agency that could tax people. And we end up taxing farmers so that we could stand up an agency to turn around and tax them, to monitor how we use water. And there's no promise in the GSA for any way to bring more water to the area, which is the real frustration of ag. But one of the interesting things at our last meeting was shared. The last couple of years, there's been 34 bankruptcies of ag institutions in our area, and over the last 2 years, and probably it was commented that there were probably a significant amount more of people who just didn't want to, just decided to sell and just get out of ag, and that is going to have a long range effect on us in terms of, what happens to us if we can't begin to get people to listen to us about how to bring more resources, more water. And the real frustrating part is you see all these lines of these things about sending water out to the ocean. And annually we send anywhere from 20 to 22 million acre feet of water out to the Pacific Ocean. And it was asked at a meeting one time, how much water do we need to begin to replenish the aquifers? And they said, oh, probably about 3 million acre feet. And I said, well, do we really need 22 million acre feet to go out to the ocean? Can we bring 3 million acre feet back this way somewhere? And we probably could without even building new conveyances, but it's difficult to get people to even ask the question or to begin to have a dialogue about those kinds of things. And so I can see how frustrating it is for farmers, big farmers and small farmers. I mean, it really, and the sad part about it is that you understand why Mark Twain said, whiskey's for drinking and water's for fighting. I mean, makes a lot of sense having to sit in some of these meetings. So anyway, that's it.
Thank you, sir. And I just want to reiterate, we talk a lot about the state operating in silos, and that what you just explained is a great example of that, where you have surface water and you have groundwater, which to the common sense person, they're intermingled, but to the state, you cannot talk about them in the same sentence because they're very separate. But if we had more surface water, our groundwater would be more replenished and we wouldn't have the issues that we have, but you can't have that conversation for some reason. But yeah, I get your frustration. So my report, get ready. I attended a grand opening for Lemoore Flowers, a new business on Highland. If you haven't heard of it, go and stop by and check it out. I also attended the Kings County Homelessness Collaborative, where all those agencies continue to collaborate on how to best help the homeless population in Kings County. and attended KCAO, King's Community Action Organization, and everything there is moving along well. And that's all I have. So that was pretty quick. You're
Whoa.
welcome. I know.
Jeez.
See? Miracles happen. So with that, we'll go ahead and go to closed session. We have one item, city manager performance evaluation. So with that, we'll go ahead and adjourn. Thank you all for attending.